I rise with great pleasure to follow the noble Lady Baroness de Souza and agree with what she said, while also agreeing that the amendments moved by the noble Lord Anderson have made Clause 9 less bad, but it is still a bad clause that should disappear from this bill. Now, in introducing this group, the noble Lord Anderson said these were all about Clause 9. I would rather say my Amendment 22, to which I rise to speak, was provoked by Clause 9. Because one of the things that has happened in public debate, and there has been an enormous amount of public debate around Clause 9 and what it's revealed, is the fact that so many people had not realised that what the noble Lord the Minister in an earlier group described as the warm embrace of citizenship can be taken away, and that there is a profound discrimination in the way that can be taken away. Now, the noble Lady Baroness Chakrabarti in committee talked about two-tier citizenship. I talk about it as two classes of citizenship. Now, I regret that I wasn't able to take part in committee stage, and I thank my noble friend Baroness Jones of Moulsecoomb for very ably speaking for me. But the fact is, there are about 6 million Britons, and I declare an interest because I'm among them, who, because of another citizenship or because of their descent from people who came to Britain who chose to be Britons, have second-class citizenship. It can be taken away by the government. And as the noble Lord MacDonald, a real Glenman, just outlined very clearly, what we have seen is a very rapid, very considerable escalation of the ways in which that power can be and has been applied. So what my amendment does is it makes one exception where if someone attains a citizenship by means of fraud, of misrepresentation, then obviously I think the right should remain for that citizenship to be taken away. But if that citizenship has been acquired honestly, what my Amendment 22 does says it cannot be taken away. This is, I would suggest to your Lordship's House, the only way in which we can ensure every British citizen is the same class of citizen, is treated the same way. And I think the reasons why that it is people who have or have access to alternative citizenships come from migrant backgrounds, the discrimination in that, the way in which this is applied, is very obvious. And I'll note from having read very carefully the committee report, the committee Hansard, that the noble Lady Baroness Mubarak expressed support for this, and I thank the noble Lord Paddock for also expressing support in principle for the idea that there should only be one class of citizenship and the government should not be able to take it away. Now, of course, I can imagine what response I might hear from the noble Lady the Minister, but what about someone who's a security threat? Well, my lords, if we have given millions of people British citizenship, we've benefited from all of the contributions of all kinds that they've made to the UK, should we be able to say, well, this person's a problem, so we're going to get rid of them, and make them someone else's problem? If a person is a security threat to the UK, they may well be a security threat to the other citizenship that they may hold that we're sending them to. Why should we be able to dump our problems on someone else? So I find myself very torn at the current moment. I'm very aware of the desire in your Lordship's House to take away some of the worst elements of this bill. But I also find myself, and being supported by many people out in civil society, saying they want to ensure there is one class of citizenship. So I have said to all of the relevant authorities that I'm going to reserve the right to see whether I call a vote on this, because I just find this a matter of principle on which it is very, very difficult to simply withdraw the amendment. What I would ask is particularly the front bench speakers, and I'd also be very interested, and I hope that the Lord Spirituals might, one of the Lord Spiritual might contribute here. I would really like to hear everyone's position on this and everyone's explanation of whether they believe that there should be two classes of British citizenship. And having heard that debate, then I'll make a decision about whether to push Amendment 22 to a vote.